Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, max out your savings. The more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on any smart bed with base. Limited time. Check it out at a Sleep Number store near you or at sleepnumber.com today.
AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR. Presented by Decision Critical. Concierge Nursing. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Sir. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Hey, a big shout out if you missed it last night. It was expected. We all knew that this is how it was going to go. But Paul Skeens did, in fact, make history for LSU.
I'd love to announce the 2025 National League Cy Young Award winner from the Pittsburgh Pirates, Paul Skeens.
Well, that's how the announcement sounded. Skeens was watching at his home in Florida, he and Livy Dunn, and friends behind him. So Clay Moffitt was there in the room as well, hanging out there watching Skeens make the announcement, the announcement for Skeens, which was awesome to see. Skeens becomes the first former LSU Tiger to win the Cy Young, and he becomes the first pitcher since Dwight Gooden to win Rookie of the Year and Cy Young in back-to-back seasons. So Paul Skeens just continues to make history all the way around. On the MLB Network, here was Skeens talking a little bit about his journey through baseball.
Yeah, I mean, as I look back on my path in baseball up to this point, I got recruited to college as a catcher, kept growing and started pitching and got better on the mound. Never thought I would end up here. Never thought that I would be in the major leagues, much less winning a Cy Young. So it doesn't always work out how you think it's going to. But if you stay the course, you surround yourself with good people, you work hard, that's the minimum. You're going to do exactly what you're supposed to do, whatever that looks like.
How about Helmer's on there? You notice Helmer's on the couch?
Right next to him, man.
I mean, it's like you've got Skeens' parents on one side, and then you've got Livy Dunn and Helmer's. Like, and then 10 other guys and folks behind him. But, like, I don't know well, there's one more leg. There's one more leg. Yeah. I don't know who that is. There's a leg next to Helmer's. But how Helmer's ended up on the couch. We got to call our guy and see what's going on there. Shout out Louisiana Loaded, by the way. I wonder if there'll be a new episode of Louisiana Loaded.
Has to be, right?
I mean, if he's not there, content creating there in Florida with Livy and Skeens. You know what? The other thing I'll say is that Skeens' reaction has improved. If you go side by side from a year ago when he won the Rookie of the Year to the Cy Young, Livy very excited. Paul Skeens, a sheepish grin, a little nod, nothing to it. There we go. There's the hug from last year. A little hug. But anyway, maybe he's just a little more comfortable winning in this whole I'm winning awards thing.
It looked like a very concerted effort to show a little bit more emotion.
Yeah, like everyone clowned me last year for not doing anything. I got memed.
Exactly.
I got memed a little bit. Like the fat kid with his hand on his stomach, that meme that everybody, like the fat kid, the meme, like is looking at like.
Oh, wait, okay, wait, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, that's a good one.
Maybe you prefer to the Spider-Man pointing.
Yeah, that one.
Lots of. Skeen's got me. So anyway, nice smiles, good to see. So he becomes the first starting pitcher with a non-winning record to win the Cy Young. It was Eric Gagne who had a losing record when he won the Cy Young, but he was a closer, had a losing record as a closer. That was the year where Gagne was like 59 of 60 on save opportunities or something like that. Wasn't it something ridiculous like that?
No, and it was early 2000s. I want to say 2000.
Or you could,
yeah,
or
I'm look it up. That's what I'm saying. Let me look it up.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes Muse, you like the other day you learned, and you were like, hey, I'm gonna look that up.
Well, we've talked about it so much, I thought I could pull it.
We have this great thing, the World Wide Web. You ask it something, it'll tell you any answer you want. It's kind of crazy.
I was gonna say 04. It was 03.
03. There you go. Eric Gagne.
55 for 55.
So
as
he
a matter
didn't
of
miss
fact,
any.
he didn't miss any.
Wow, 55. That's incredible. You're bound to slip up once, You hang a breaking ball or something. I don't know. Anyway, congrats to Paul Skeens. That's awesome, man. Cy Young Award winner. Just build a trophy room. Congrats to him. All right, it is after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Look, check them out. If you're in the market for a new vehicle or might be, make sure you put Volkswagen on your list. 9 different IIHS top safety picks. If you are thinking of buying a vehicle, maybe you're buying a vehicle for your son, daughter. Maybe Christmas is the time that you're buying a new vehicle. They got great deals. And what you love about South Point is because they are Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, they're going to be able to get you the best price with the best inventory as well, the best selection, the best price. You're going to love the fact that you're going to pay a great price. You're going to love the great safety features. They're going to love how stylish and fun it is to drive. If you've never driven a Volkswagen, put it on your list. Go test drive one today at South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? We are going to talk to Mike Triplett here in 12 minutes from right now. In 22 minutes from right now. My apologies. At the bottom of this hour, we'll talk some Saints as the Saints are in their bye week. LSU. We will talk some LSU football here in just a second with Frank Wilson set to meet reporters after practice. We're waiting on some updates from that. But a lot of players this week have talked about. They have talked a lot about Garrett Nussmeier and. Muse, do me a favor. Just fill for 1 second. I'm sorry.
I'll continue on what you were saying there. I clipped the audio, and you had some great words of encouragement from his teammates. Xavier Thomas sticks out, obviously, in that regard. Jacoby and Guillory, who's on the other side of the ball, absolutely raved about Garrett Nussmeier. He's played with him for so long. And it was really inspiring, actually, to hear the guys.
We're having firewood delivered to the house.
Oh, full cord?
At half a cord.
Half cord, yeah.
But Erica's there, and the guy was pulling up, and he's like, where do you want me to go? So they're texting, like, where do you want to go? I'm like, I'm in the middle of a segment, but I don't want him to leave. And so then the company's texting me, then the delivery guy's texting me. I'm like, I didn't want him to leave. And so I had to text Erica. I'm like, go outside.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Love a good firewood delivery, man. It's always a good time.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling.
I've told y'all, my Sunday tradition, like my own little Sunday tradition for me. This is my me time, which I don't get much of. But I go watch Sunday Night Football. I light a fire in our fire pit. We got a beautiful fire pit outside. And I grill a steak. I get one of those little single serves of wine. So I have a glass of wine, I grill a steak, I smoke a Bocock Brothers premium cigar. I watch Sunday Night Football. I light a fire, and I just stay out there by myself. It's just my me time. So, and I was out of firewood. So I needed more firewood. So I called them. Shout out there. They're called the Firewood Guys, by the way. Shout out. Free plug.
Call it what it is.
Call a thing by its name.
Call it.
They're great. I called them today. They delivered this afternoon. Like, they're great. Seriously. Shout out to them. And for that plug, they should give me my firewood for free. They didn't. I already Venmoed them payment. Yeah, the Firewood Guys. I've used them the last 2 years. They're great. All right, it's after further review. Oh, LSU basketball. That's what I was going to say. LSU basketball tonight against FIU. Hey, I want to ask Otter about this. I think they're catching on.
Yeah, I just looked at the line,
yeah,
too.
So I looked at it earlier because I was going to play it. LSU in their opener was a 15.5-point favorite. They covered with ease against Tarleton State. Then they were 17.5 or 19.5? 19.5? 19.5 against UNO, covered with ease. And now they're a 21.5-point favorite over FIU, who's atrocious.
Yeah, they're bad.
Their only win, and I know this because Hunt wrote a pregame write-up at Louisiana Sports Tonight, which is free, by the way. I think there's nobody who actually cares as deeply about this basketball team, like in this moment, than Hunt Palmer. I say Hunt Palmer and Jason Ramazan are probably the only two people that care deeply, deeply, deeply about the team in this moment. You love the program. Like a lot of people love the pro. I just mean about this team right now in this moment with everything going on. So Hunt is just putting so much effort and love into writing about this basketball team. And God bless him. I don't think anyone's reading it except me. But if you want to read about the basketball team, you can, because Hunt's writing about it, despite my insistence that he not. But he's doing it. And it's there if you choose. You know what? How about do me a favor? Give it a pity read. Give Hunt's LSU basketball stuff a pity read over at LouisianaSports.net. The preview of tonight's game with LSU and an awful FIU team. Let's go make that thing cook. Let's make that LouisianaSports.net. It's up on.
It's free.
Everything's free always at LouisianaSports.net. We ain't charging. No paywalls. Kick rocks with your paywalls. I'm allergic to paywalls. I sat in a meeting one time with a consultant who's trying to convince me to make all of our content here, put all of our here on a paywall. I'm like, I hate you. He's trying to talk to me about how the New York Times is a paywall, and I'm like, I hate you. Leave now. You have terrible advice, sir. No. Anyway, I hate paywalls. I'm allergic to them, so we'll never have a paywall. At least not as long as they let me run stuff. So I'd appreciate it if you just go, just go click on some stuff. And patronize our sponsors. That would be great. All right, it's after further review. We're not going to break. When we come back, when we come back, I do want to let you hear a little bit about what the LSU guys had to say this week about Nussmeier. Been a rough week after last week, but how Nuss has been handling it. And then if we get updates from Frank Wilson, we'll share them with you. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Glow Resources, what an awesome Louisiana company. Top 100 local companies in Baton Rouge in the Baton Rouge Business Report. And I love their growth. I'm so fired up to see great businesses succeed, great people succeed. Jareth Knockan is certainly one of them. GLO, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions, glowresources.com. Check out Glow Resources. If you're a business owner, hiring manager, HR manager, VP, operations, whatever you do, if you're the person in your business responsible for hiring, you need Glow Resources as a resource to you. This is not temp staffing. They're finding permanent solutions. Skilled blue-collar labor, or their professional placement division, which is any type of office job, from an office assistant all the way up to the C-suite. They can help you find permanent solutions for the people in your business that are going to make you the most effective. GLOWresources.com, GLO, glowresources.com, complete employer solutions.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
What is this team playing for at this point forward?
Playing for LSU. We're playing for Tiger Nation, and the names on the back of our jerseys.
It's Harold Perkins earlier this week. Sounds good. Man, that's a heavy lift. You know, you're going into a game this week where all of the ingredients sort of mix together for an ugly showing. and I understand most people here today are singularly focused on the future. LSU is going to play out the string. There's 3 games left. We've watched LSU do this twice, in the COVID year and 2021. Look, 2021, Ed was a lame duck coach. They weren't playing for anything. They ran Nussmeier. Remember, they started Max Johnson in that game against Arkansas. After one series, they ran Nussmeier out there. He played the rest of the game. Offense was atrocious. They went to overtime and lost to a really bad Arkansas team. Arkansas always gets up. They're coming off a bye. You're going to go in Tiger Stadium Saturday morning at 11:45. There'll probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of 60,000 people there. I mean, it's going to be just swaths of empties. There won't be a lick of emotion in that stadium from the fans to elevate for a home game. I mean, this is one of those games where those players have to look and say, like, are you willing to do exactly what Perk just said there? You're playing for LSU. Like, you elevate yourself because you come into a season with national championship aspirations and it unravels on you. And now you're amid a 3-game losing. They haven't won a game since South Carolina. You realize that? They have not won a game since they beat South Carolina. What was the date on that? Was that October the 11th when they played South Carolina? I mean, it has been a plumb month since they won a football game. That's a long thing to go. They did it last year as well when they were on a 3-game losing streak with a bye mixed in. South Carolina was October the 11th. So, I mean, you went from South Carolina, Vandy, A&M, Open Date, Alabama, and now Arkansas. From the South Carolina game, kickoff against Arkansas, this will be 5 weeks. 5 weeks without winning a football game. Now, Arkansas has gone longer, but they've been close, man. So, the emotion getting up for this game, I think, is a very real question and a real challenge. And remember, the other thing about that game in 2021 was, like I just said, the 2 quarterback thing. They started Johnson, then played Nussmeier. And this is one of those things where, I mean, they're committed to playing Van Buren. And I don't know that that's a great decision. But how do you time that jump? I've talked about it all week. If you're committing to playing both guys, if the offense goes out there and scuffles, when do you make the decision to go to Van Buren? And if Van Buren struggles, when do you make the decision to go back to Nussmeier? There's just no clean way to do it. There's no blueprint. There's no good answer for having 2 quarterbacks and trying to play them both at all. But one thing that is clear is a lot of these guys and veteran guys have supported, Garrett through a really tough time. Look, Jacoby Guillory, a guy in his 6th year at LSU, came back from that devastating injury, suffered early in the year, that Achilles, to play his 6th season. And he talked about, kind of being there for Garrett.
I've been a teammate of Garrett's for a long time now. I think he came in when I was a sophomore. So regardless of what, even when Jaden was here, I still I believe in him. That guy, is a hell of a leader. He's a hell of a person. I bled with him. I cried with him. So, regardless of, what anybody says or what anybody thinks, that's still my quarterback. And I even told Michael, I wanted Michael to go out there and perform. I know he can perform because I know he's a great player also. So we're going to put great players on the field and try to give us the best opportunity to win.
See how it goes. Xavier Thomas, similar, talking about Garrett.
That's my brother, bro. Even outside of football, checking on me, I'm checking on him. When I'm down, he by my side. And when he down, I'm by his side. And that's just speaking how close we is, how much we love and care for each other. So just being able to pick him up when he's down and him being able to pick me up when I'm down, that's just something that we really rely on because this game that we play, it brings real relationships outside of the game. And I really think that's something that a lot of people may not wonder, but those players in that locker room, we lifelong friends.
I love to hear that. And that gives you hope that maybe they can elevate. The reality is I got a 9-game sample of what this team is offensively. And if we thought they might, spark something different with a new voice, with the quarterback change, you still had the same issues a week ago against Alabama that you've had the previous 8 games. It's a lot of screens. It's the inability to stretch the field in the passing game, the inability to protect your quarterback. You can't run the football. It's the same stuff. You can't finish drives. You get in the red zone, you stall, costly penalties. It's the same stuff. It doesn't matter if it's Nussmeier or Van Buren. It doesn't matter if it's Arkansas or Alabama. It's the same thing against everyone you've played. So I would love to see LSU go out there Saturday morning and just flip a switch and have everything click. And the offense go and you feel and leave with a really good feeling like, that's what it was supposed to look like. But it's a reality, man. You know, we talk about it all the time in sports where so seldom does the product live up to the hype. If it's a big fight in MMA or boxing, if it's all the buildup for a Super Bowl. I mean, you know, the average margin of victory in Super Bowls is like 2 touchdowns. It's just very seldom that you get 28-3 with the Patriots coming back and winning in overtime. You know what I mean? You just Scott and Norwood. Those results are few and far between. What you get more often than not is Seattle blowing out Denver. You know, it just very seldom lives up to the hype. So when it does, game of the century, 9-6 in overtime, we remember it forever. And this is one of those seasons for LSU where it just didn't live up to the hype. You had tons of talent. You had all the people back, all the expectation. You know, your preseason top 10. Everyone believed this team was worthy of preseason top 10, would be a contender. You get the win at Clemson. Nuss was a preseason Heisman co-favorite there with Klubnik. And it's just been awful. So I would love to think that they can elevate. I just think you have a big enough sample size to suggest that's not really going to happen. Now, the other thing we're going to see is playing with 2 quarterbacks, and Xavier was asked about that being the challenge of playing with 2 quarterbacks rotating during the game.
Not really. Both of the quarterbacks are really good quarterbacks. They both know what they're doing when they get out there. They both know how to handle the big stage. They both know how to win games. So as long as we coming out with the win, that's all that matters. And I believe both of them put us in great position to win the game. Hope
so. Would love to see the Tigers go play well and find a way to scratch out a win. Arkansas on the flip side, they're a 2-7 football team, and they just keep losing close games. And bad teams find a way to lose. And Arkansas is a bad football team. But they do have a really explosive quarterback that presents a unique challenge. Not unique, but a challenge for the LSU defense that does expose the weakness of the LSU defense, the inability to stop a running quarterback. And on the flip side, it's bad on bad. I mean, Arkansas hadn't stopped anybody all year defensively, but LSU hadn't moved the ball any year offensively. So we'll be watching on Saturday morning. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Evermore, EVAMOR, Evermore.com. Always got my bottle of Evermore, and I encourage you to do the very same thing. Find a great local retailer near you. Grocery stores like Rouse's and so many great retailers that have it. Also gas stations. I mean, I was pulling into a gas station on Nicholson earlier today. Filled up gas, walked in, bought a 64-ounce bottle of Evermore. You find it everywhere, not just in Louisiana. They have national distribution, EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Hit the store locator, go to the tab, the little menu. It says find a store. Type in your zip code, and it'll pop up exactly the stores near you that carry Evermore, so you can find it, or you can buy it online at Evermore.com. EVAMOR, Evermore.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, DecisionCriticalBR.com. Mike Triplett jumps aboard with us next. Talk about the Saints coming off a very impressive win on the road in Carolina, and what we're looking at as they head into their open date, their bye week. That's next on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Of course, on Friday, the LSU Tigers, they'll move into Renaissance Baton Rouge right there on Bluebonnet. That's where they are for every home football game. The Friday before every home football game, they're at Renaissance Baton Rouge. And why not? Beautiful, sprawling hotel with enough guest rooms to host the entire LSU football team and all the staff. And enough meeting space, 13,000 square feet of meeting space, so that they can host any one of the any event you may have. So like for LSU football, their grand ballroom, which can hold up to 500 people, that's where they have like team meals, team meetings, and all. The position group meetings, they have smaller partitioned off rooms. Maybe you have like a corporate board. They have corporate board rooms at Renaissance Baton Rouge for 12 people. They can host any event you have. Check them out on Bluebonnet. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
All right, glad you're rolling along with us here. Thursday edition of AFR presented by Decision Critical. Decision at criticalbr.com. Decisioncriticalbr.com. Maybe you got an unfortunate diagnosis. You need in-home nursing care. Decision Critical can help. Decisioncriticalbr.com. They want to be a complement to what your insurance allows. So have that conversation, that discovery call with their expertly trained nurses over at Decision Critical. DecisionCriticalBR.com. It's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. All right, hit it, Muse.
Mike! Yeah?
New Orleans Saints coverage with some Mad Libs mixed in.
Why don't you just go by Mike?
It's time to talk black and gold with Mike Triplett of New Orleans Football. Presented by Benny's Car Wash. Family owned and operated since 1951.
Mike, how are you?
Good. My boycott worked. I didn't come on last week. I said I'm not coming on again until they finally win a game.
Love it. Well, we'll talk to you maybe next year then, Mike. We'll see you. So when is what's the over-under for the Tyler Shuck Hall of Fame announcement? Is it 20? We're talking 2040?
Let's see. They drafted him when he was like 26, so he's only going to have like a 14-year career.
Got it.
So add 5 to that for Hall of Fame. Well, maybe they might waive it for him. So 15 to 20 years, somewhere in that range.
Okay, so we're talking like 2040 Hall of Fame induction.
Yep.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get started on the fundraising for that one, so we can make sure we're up there and
just book your hotel room.
Yeah, I'm sure they book him that far out. No, but so the win was impressive to go on the road and win, but. Now that you've had some time to think, process, look through it, man, what were your big takeaways watching Chuck?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the hilarious jokes we were just telling are a perfect example of it's such a small sample size, and there's going to be a game that's just as good as this one looked that's going to look lousy, and we're going to have to make sure we don't overreact to that. And the truth is going to be somewhere in the middle, and he's still a long shot to become like the guy. I mean, even second rounders who panned out were like Andy Dalton and Derek Carr, and their teams spent a decade not really sure they were the guy. And is he more like Will Levis or Kenny Pickett or Mac Jones? I mean, there's so many possible outcomes, but it is cool or intriguing or interesting. It makes the last 7 games really interesting, even if it's just, is this guy interesting enough that they want to and we want to look at him for 17 more games, that it kind of takes, got to go right back to the quarterback well out of the equation. That alone would be pretty huge, I think.
Yeah, because that would completely change the conversation you're having at the top of the draft next year as well, exactly. and who you'd be able to target. So why do you suspect it did work on Sunday, or are we overreacting to it, Mike? I mean, they only scored 17 points.
Yeah, exactly. They only scored 17 points. They had a lot of drive stall. Although I will say, my biggest disappointment with their offense was they had a ton of drive stall at like Carolina's 40, the 50, the 2 at one point because they couldn't finish off the short yardage runs. They would like run on second and third down and not be able to keep the chains moving. There really wasn't a point in this game where Shuck himself came up short or got them into trouble. So that was really encouraging. And then obviously if he needed more than 17 points, it would have been interesting to see if, he could have got him to 24. He could have got him to 31, even if they needed touchdowns in the fourth quarter instead of just running out the clock. But everything he was asked to do in this game, he did really, really well. And he did it for all 4 quarters. So it wasn't like every other series or every other quarter that he was showing glimpses. He kind of kept doubling and tripling down on it. And what it looked so good for was it looked so good for a guy who's played 2 NFL games in his whole life now.
Yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't look as good as, he hasn't arrived, but it's just like there were a lot of people wondering, is he even worth taking a look at? And now that question has been answered. He's absolutely worth taking a look at and actually maybe even being intrigued by.
We've spent so much time talking about Chuck. Was there anyone else in that game that was particularly impressive in a season that has not had a lot of people that are particularly impressive?
Well, Chris Olave, huge game for Chris Olave, I thought. He had the uncharacteristic drops earlier this season when he was kind of beating himself up over that, and kind of the inconsistency, kind of the lack of opportunities, waiting for his breakout moments. And not only did he just have them time and time again, the career-long touchdown pass, 62 yards, the one-handed catch in the second half, showing some physicality, but it happened in Carolina where he got carted off the field last year and didn't play again the rest of the season, and he said that was weighing on him. It was kind of like a exercise in some demons, a big moment for him, and all of a sudden you look up and he's on pace for 100 catches and 1,100 yards this year. I mean, that'd be pretty huge if we got that kind of season out of Chris Olave, who was a fairly big question mark coming into this year.
So I had Olave written down. I didn't mention him specifically. I figured you would. So let me ask about Olave. A follow-up here. Objectively, a really nice game for Chris Olave on Sunday. But that's been an outlier for Chris Olave.
Sure.
So is there any reason to believe that is anything more than just an outlier and he reverts to form?
Well, I guess the counterpoint to that would be this was not an outlier to 2022 and 2023 Chris Olave. This felt like a return to form in some ways. And actually, you kind of add the last 3 weeks together, it's been a little bit of a return to form for him. He was catching 87 balls, 11. He went over 1,100 yards. Like, this is what we expected out of him from the beginning, and it kind of went away with the concussions, with missed time. And so if we see mostly this for the rest of the way out and he gets through this season fully healthy, I don't know that it's time for either side to decide they want to do the next contract heading into next season. But, nobody was ready to do a long-term contract with so many question marks around him. If this is what he's going to look like down the stretch and then be 2 years removed from the concussion issues, I think he goes back to being one of those guys that you probably are willing to invest in again. And that is one of the most promising players on the team. So it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was a career outlier. It was just an outlier for the last 2 years.
That would certainly be a welcome change if, in fact, we are back to having that conversation with a guy that they invested a lot into the first round.
Obviously, one other change is Rashid Shaheed's no longer on the team. So he's, his opportunity, even though he's like second in the NFL in targets this year, his opportunity should only increase without Rashid Shaheed here anymore.
He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. Our chats with Mike every week are brought to you by Benny's Car Wash, Benny'sCarWash.com. Join the Unlimited Membership Club at Benny'sCarWash.com. Mike, it's amazing. It would take something like Shuck having the day he did for us to overlook the Saints defense only allowing 7 points. And there's an asterisk there because the only drive Carolina scored on, there was an interception that got wiped away by a valid penalty, but a penalty that didn't actually influence anyway the turnover. So what in the world happened to this defense?
Yeah, well, I mean, that obviously could have been my answer to your question when you asked if there's anything else beyond Tyler Shuck to be encouraged by. That's a little bit more. I'm going to have to see it more than once to believe it, prove it, because the defense was absolutely dominant in that game, no question. That Carolina was so unimpressive in that game. I mean, they kept giving them the ball back, too. They had the roughing the passer penalties. They'd give them new life, and then they just go 3 and out on the next series instead or throw another interception instead. I mean, what a lousy game. The one thing I did like is Carolina has had a lot of success this year. I mean, Rico Dowdle had 200-yard from scrimmage games, and the Saints very clearly went into this game and they said, we know what Carolina wants to do. They want to run the ball and take the pressure off Bryce Young. And we're going to go in there and not let them run the ball. And on the road, outdoors, against a team that's been running the ball really well, that's nice to know that they have that in them. Because if you can you're going to have a lot of success, especially against the lousy teams on the schedule for the rest of this season, if you're able to take the run away. We thought that might be a strength, and I think it was one of the bigger disappointments of the first 2 months. So if that's a sign of a better run defense to come, that'll make everything on the defense better.
Mike, they're going to screw up their draft pick by winning a bunch of games now?
Yep, they really are. Not because I think the Saints are better. I mean, they're a 2-8 team. They've earned 2-8.
Yeah.
But this schedule was so top-heavy that they played a couple games at the beginning of the season where they might have beat, a Jets or a Titans, but instead they were losing to a Bills and a Niners and a Cardinals when they were playing okay. But the rest of this schedule includes another Carolina game at home, the Dolphins, the Jets, the Titans, 2 Falcons games. I mean, there's at least 2 more wins in the rest of the schedule for this team. So I would put my Vegas odds on something like the 4th pick over the 1st pick. But if they lose all those games, then we are back to having a quarterback discussion next year. If Tyler Shuck can't beat those teams, then he's going to have a hard time making his case.
Yeah, I think you and I, we've talked about this over the years, and I think you and I agree that I'd rather see them win because that shows you've got good players and a good quarterback and something to build on than lose just to get a pick that you could screw up anyway.
Yeah, except for the quarterback thing. I would say that's true unless they 100% desperately need a quarterback next year and there's no two bones about it. Then I'd like to see that pick be as high as possible. Otherwise, you're probably trading 2 firsts to move up to get the guy. But yeah, if we're talking about are you going to take the pass rusher, or are you going to take the DB, or are you going to take the receiver, then the difference between pick 3 and pick 4 and pick 5 maybe isn't quite as game changing, and the wins might feel good, especially in the first year of like Kellen Moore's tenure and the buy-in you're trying to get from the young players, etc. There is some value in winning. Although it'd be nice to play really well and just have like 1 or 2 wins that make you feel good every once in a while. And lo and behold, you feel good about yourself and have the number 1 pick.
That would be. I don't know that that's in the cards because the Titans and the Jets are absolutely atrocious. But also, Mike, if you're winning those games you talked about, that means your quarterback is presumably playing well.
It kind of solves itself. If Tyler Shuck wins 5 games, they probably wouldn't replace him. Even if they are beating lousy teams, even if they're just beating the Titans 17-7, you're probably not dumping him if he wins 2 or 3 more games. And if he can't beat those teams, then it's a good thing you have the number 1 pick.
Man, 2018 wasn't that long ago, was it, Mike? I mean, whew.
It feels like it didn't feel like that long ago, but
here we are. I mean, what a blink, this league, I tell you. All right, Mike Triplett, right. NewOrleans.football. Benny's Car Wash, Benny'sCarWash.com brings us our chats with Mike every single week. Join their unlimited membership club. I'm a member. You should be as well. Benny'sCarWash.com. Mike, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Always. It is After Further Review. We are glad to have you aboard with us here. We're brought to you by Supper Club, SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. It is Thursday. Why don't you start the weekend off right at Supper Club? By the way, they've got stone crabs in right now over at Supper Club, and they buy directly from the fishermen. So I'm talking about the freshest possible stone crabs you can find. Like in the water yesterday, on your plate today at Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com for your reservations. Remember, always open seating at the bar. 14 bar stools, 7 bar tables, first come, first serve. So always give them a shout, try your luck, hop on in there to Supper Club, have a cocktail, glass of wine, maybe enjoy dinner at the bar, or book your reservation at SupperClubBTR.com. Holidays are around the bend, y'all. You have family coming in, you want to treat them to a great dinner, you want to go to Supper Club. Maybe you got that Christmas party for your office, whatever it may be, have it at Supper Club. Reserve it today for any size. You can even reserve the entire building if you want. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. All right, it is After Further Review. We are glad you're with us. One thing left to do. Jimmy will be here for Otterlocks. Not a great night last night. Unfortunately, I went heavy, too. I was feeling real good about Paul Stone's football picks, and everything was trending our way. All the line movement was going in our direction. The old don't be a moron, bet more on it. Well, I was a moron because I bet more on it, and we need to make good tonight. So we'll get Jimmy here, and we'll find out what we're betting on Thursday Night Football. That's up next here on AFR.
AFR.
Christmas is right around the corner. Maybe give your family this year a Christmas they will never forget by putting in a pool from Duplessis Builders. Give them the Clark Griswold treatment this Christmas, not the Jelly of the Month Club. Put in a pool. And if there's enough left over, you can fly them all into dedicated. And there should be enough left over because at Duplessis, you can go to their pick your pool option on the homepage. Just go to duplessisbuilders.net, 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 hit the pick your pool option. They have 11 different pool designs. You just choose which design you like, pick out your finishes, and boom, you're done. You can even pay for it right now on the website if you want. Starting as low as $49K. Now, you want to do the big, beautiful, gorgeous resort-style pool and outdoor kitchen. They do all of that as well. But they have every option for every budget. It's duplessisbuilders.net. Check them out online right now. duplessisbuilders.net.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR. We always appreciate Blazia and the awesome team over at Decision Critical. Not just healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com. Decisioncriticalbr.com. All right, one thing left to do. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
Doing good. I apologize for that 0 for 3 last night. So
not a great night, and I was a moron because I bet more on it.
Well, that's my fault. They scratched our quarterback.
Happens.
And the backup was blank happens. So,
like REO Speedwagon said, Otter, you got to roll with the changes. You know what I mean?
Okay. Day of rock and roll, City Park, bro.
Let's go.
Man.
We roll with the changes.
Yeah.
And you know what we're going to do? We're just going to hop back on that horse tonight. We're going to find us some winners. So let's go get them.
And what better horse to whip than that coyote beating son of a gun with the hockey stick from Las Vegas, Colucci. He's got 2 picks tonight. Let's get to him.
What did you say? I would have beat with a stick of what?
There's a coyote issue in Las Vegas, and he walks the park, and he walks with his hockey sticks in case he has
I need pictures of this.
I can't make this up.
You could, but it's a way better story if you're not.
So he's got the Dallas Stars. A couple of, I think, 10-2 teams on the road, but he's got the Dallas Stars. Should be right around even money.
Yep, minus $1.02.
Okay, that was exactly what it was earlier today. We're doing a show at Sammy's. And then the Islanders in the Fortress at the Las Vegas. They're coming back a big dog. So he's got the New York Islanders. So 2 picks tonight from Colucci. One right at even money and one big money.
Yeah, $1.
What is it now?
$1.54.
Okay, $1.54 right now. So Colucci's got 2 picks tonight. At the chalk in these Thursday night games now of double digits or more is really been historically successful. There's only been one case where it's a double-digit home favorite this year. Buffalo was minus 11. We had Miami that night. They lost by 10. They covered. But 33-0 straight up and 25-8 Thursday night favorites of 10 or more. So the Jets have won and covered 2 in a row. Hello. We're gonna lay the chalk, lay the points, and take New England minus the points at home.
All right.
And then we got one basketball game tonight. This is a revenge spot for Alabama against Purdue. Purdue, if you remember this, they played a Friday last year. Purdue upset them. Last year was the day of the Tyson-Jake Paul fight, if you remember that.
Do you think I honestly remember an Alabama-Purdue basketball game from a year ago?
Well, I do. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We had Jake Paul in the decision. It paid good. So
yeah, no kidding. Who was betting on Mike Tyson? Jesus.
I walked in Beau Rivage that night. Everybody.
Unbelievable. I mean, is that just a case where people don't actually watch combat sports, and so they think a 60-year-old man is going to be able to hang at all with a guy in his 20s?
Matt, a lot of times people, they bet what they want to pull for. And a lot of people are pulling for Tyson. Because you couldn't bet it in Louisiana last year, but in Mississippi you could. And Carl Johnson, the former sportsbook manager, I said, what's this percentage look like? He says, I've not taken a Jake Paul bet yet. And that place was packed. I mean, I was walking in as it was
1 minute
unloaded.
remaining.
There was not a happy place. So we go into Alabama tonight. It's a revenge spot. They're really good. Big win in Madison Square Garden against St. John's, top 5 team. Laying 2.5 for 3. We'll take Alabama minus the points at home. That game tips off in ESPN 2 in about 5 minutes.
All right, the Gucci likes the Dallas Stars and New York Islanders. Otter's going chalk. We're laying 12.5 with the Patriots, and on the hardwood 3.5 with the Crimson Tide. Football Friday tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. Charlie and Richard get started off at 10 a.m. Ruffino.
All right.
Good luck.
Good luck, Otter. Have a good night. We appreciate it. That is Jimmy out. Jimmy and Charlie will be at Ruffino's tomorrow for Lock of the Week Friday. All right, it's going to do it for us. As always, thanks to Blazion and the great team over at Decision Critical, our title sponsors here on Thursdays, DecisionCriticalBR.com. Muse, Paulie, thanks. Y'all have an awesome night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
After further review.
And always a big thanks to Brandon Holly and the gang at Relief Windows. Should have Otter tell his story. Otter lives in one of those neighborhoods where the HOA requires wood windows. If you live in a neighborhood that requires wood windows, the problem you often have, especially in Louisiana where it's humid and it's wet, I mean, those wood windows rot, and you end up replacing them every 3, 5, 7 years, whatever it may be. Well, with Relief Windows, the wood windows, those gelled-in wood windows from composite, which means they last. They offer a lifetime warranty on their wood windows. It's Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters too. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. I tell you all the time, at Relief Windows, they will never ask anyone else, they will never take $1 from you for a down payment. They will never take $1 until they're done and you're thrilled. They just demand that the customer is going to be absolutely thrilled. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com.